So let's go back to this article about 500 million animals perish in bushfires. Staggering 500 million animals are believed to have died in bushfires since September, sparking fears entire species have been lost. There are real concerns entire species of plants and animals have been wiped out by bushfires. Following revelations, almost 500 million animals have died since the crisis began. Ecologists from the University of Sydney now estimate 480 million mammals, birds, and reptiles have been lost since September. That figure is likely to soar following the devastating fires which have ripped through Victoria and the New South Wales south coast over the past couple days, leaving several people dead or unaccounted for, razing scores of homes and leaving thousands stranded. This morning, more than 130 fires were raging across New South Wales and Victoria, with millions of hectares of national park already burnt. Harrowing scenes of kangaroos fleeing walls of fire, charred bodies of koalas, and cockatoos falling dead out of trees have horrified the world as it tries to take in the scale of the unfolding disaster. Koalas have been among the hardest hit of Australia's native animals because they are slow-moving and only eat leaves from the eucalyptus tree, which are filled with oil, making them highly flammable. Up to 8,000, a third of the entire koala population of the New South Wales mid-north coast, are believed to have been killed in less than 4 months. There are significant koala populations in other states affected by fire, such as Victoria and South Australia, but no figures yet on how many have been lost. The fires have burned so hot and so fast that there has been significant mortality of animals in the trees, but there is such a big area now that this is still on fire and still burning that we will probably never find the bodies. Nature Conservation Council ecologist Mark Graham told Parliament. Koalas really have no capacity to move fast enough to get away as the flames jumped from treetop to treetop, he said. Oh my God, these pictures are really... Mr. Graham was addressing the New South Wales Upper House inquiry, which last month held an urgent hearing into the state's koala population in the wake of unprecedented destruction. Science for Wildlife Executive Director Dr. Kelly Lee told the hearing there were no resources or planning in place to save koala populations threatened by fire in the Blue Mountains. We're getting a lot of lessons out of this, and it's just showing how unprepared we are, Dr. Lee said. There's no procedures or protocols in place. Even wildlife carers don't have protocols for when they can go in after a fire. Stand Up for Nature, an alliance of 13 organizations, is calling for an immediate halt on logging of native forests in New South Wales until the impacts of the catastrophic bushfires on species and habitat are understood. The impact on many species has been extreme and is ongoing. The full scale of wildlife loss will probably never be known, but they will surely number in the millions. It warned in a letter to New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian. The effects of the catastrophic fires have been so far-reaching that allowing further loss of habitat and impact on native species would be unconscionable. Without this information, the sustainability of harvesting operations cannot be guaranteed. These unprecedented fires have jeopardized the long-term viability of threatened species populations and forest ecosystems in several areas. The Alliance acknowledged a moratorium could have impacts on native forest timber industry workers and their communities. We therefore call on the government to ensure logging industry workers are supported during this process, either with alternative employment options, financial assistance, or other worthwhile alternatives. We stand ready to engage constructively with the industry and government to achieve this goal. There you go. That sounds extremely logical. Stop logging, support the loggers who would be thrown out of work with finding them temporary employment elsewhere or financial assistance. Environment Minister Susan Ley said true animal death figures would not be known until the fires have calmed down and a proper assessment can be made.